Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV today, folks, and it has been confirmed Wilson Contreras is off the market. Another big league name going to an arch rival. Yeah, you heard that right. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and let's get going. If you guys like anything MLB related, try and help us get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be greatly appreciated. Now, if you like the whole MLB aspect, head over to Gillis TV as we got all the NHL aspects on there. So, like I said, Wilson Contreras is off the market as the Cardinals have made it official, announcing that they have signed Wilson Contreras to a 5-year deal with a club option for 2028. The details of the option aren't publicly known, and the Cardinals will be paying longtime Cub and newly acquired Cardinal $87.5 million over the course of that 5 years, not including his option. And the former Cub will stay in the NL Central, but going to the top rival. So if you're a Cubs fan, let me know how that feels, because I haven't had anyone just, hey, I'm leaving the team that I developed in for our arch rival. Let me know in the comments how that feels. St. Louis has been determined to find a starting catcher this offseason. President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak has spoken of that being the team's top priority on a number of occasions, and he's told reporters on Monday he hoped to land their new backstop before the winter meetings wrapped up. It appears the Cards will come through on that goal by nabbing the undisputed top free agent option at that position. Wilson Contreras is one of the game's most consistent offensive threats behind the plate. He's been an average or better hitter in every season of his career. Over parts of 7 MLB seasons, he carries a .256 average. While he's never topped 25 home runs, he's eclipsed the 20 home run mark 4 separate occasions. With only a half a season of action in 2016 and the truncated schedule in 2020, Wilson Contreras only once failed to reach 20 long balls over a full year of playing, which was back during a 28 campaign that proved to be his worst to date. The three-time All-Star will bring that offensive ability to Busch Stadium while he joins Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt as right-handed presence in the middle of the lineup. Contreras performed as well as he has ever during that platform year, putting up .243 average with 22 home runs across 487 trips to the plate in his final season as a club. Those slash stats are about par from course of Contreras' career, but they become increasingly valuable in a league where offense was down significantly by measure of WRC, plus his production was 32 percent points above league average, the highest such mark of his career. The offense is even rarer with compared to his positional peers. On the whole, catchers mustered just a .228 line this past season over the 29 backstops with 300 plus plate appearances. Wilson Contreras only trailed Kirk from the Toronto Blue Jays, Adley Rutschman from the Orioles, and his younger brother William Contreras in on-base percentage. Only William Contreras, Cal Raleigh, JT Realmuto, and Travis Darnell had a higher slugging mark. Contreras backs that strong production up with the quality batted ball metrics. His average exit velocity has topped 90 miles per hour in each of the past 2 seasons, while he bested a 47% hard contact rate in each of the last 3 years. For reference, the league average marks for the categories are 88.4 miles per hour and 35.8%. Contreras' strikeout and walk marks typically hover around the league average, leading to a solid offensive profile built around his above-average power. While there's little to question of his offensive track record, Contreras' glove has been the key talking point for months. With the Cubs out of contention at the past trade deadline and showing little appetite to work out a long-term deal, the 30-year-old backstop was one of the summer's prime trade candidates. Concerns about his ability to manage a pitching staff and call a game trickled out in the weeks leading up till the August 2nd deadline, and the Cubs wound up hanging on to him. That's not to say there was no interest. Reports later emerged that the Astros were prepared to send starter Jose Urquidy to Chicago in a one-for-one swap before Houston ownership killed that deal, but trepidations about his game-calling acumen have lingered into the offseason. That's a concern, and it's probably not as pressing as an issue with Wilson Contreras having a few months to build rapport with pitchers before jumping into game action. Teams generally tend to be worried about drastic mid-season shakeups behind the plate. Recently, that it's a difficult for a new acquisition to learn a pitcher's tendencies in the midst of a pennant race. Houston skipper Dusty Baker, who encouraged ownership to kill the trade over the summer, told reporters this week he'd be more interested in bringing Contreras in as a free agent over the offseason. To that end, Houston reportedly putting forth a multi-year offer was seemingly one of the favorites for his services, but it appears they lose out on the bidding in a long run. Wilson Contreras is worth noting fares well enough behind the plate in more measurable aspects. Statcast has pegged him as a roughly average pitch framer for the past 3 seasons as he worked to overcome ghastly receiving marks from earlier in his career. Contreras boasts an excellent arm, having cut down 29.8% of attempted base stealers in his career. That's well north of the 25% league average. Statcast credit him with the 11th lowest pop time, average time to throw to second base on a steal attempt among 73 backstops with 10 plus attempts in 2022. St. Louis is clearly comfortable enough with Contreras' overall defensive profile to make them their new successor behind the plate to franchise icon Molina. They explored the numbers of a trade and free agent possibilities, with reports tying them to number 2 free agent at the position, Christian Vasquez, and top trade candidates for Sean Murphy and Danny Jansen. In the end, they held off on dealing away young talent for a catcher and have gone on to the top of the market in free agency. Contreras will step in as their number 1 backstop, relegating Andrew Neisner to reserve duty and allowing the team to keep prospect Ivan Herrera in AAA. At the start of the MLB season, at the start of the offseason, MLBTR predicted he'd land a 4-year, $84 million deal, with this $87.5 million deal now becoming one of the largest free agent contracts in franchise history. The Cardinals have only previously topped $8 million for a free agent on 3 occasions, adding Matt Holliday for $120 million and going right around the $80 million mark for both Mike Leake and Dexter Fowler. As noted by Jeff Jones of the Belleville News-Democrat, this is the largest guarantee they're giving a free agent who hasn't previously played for the team. The Cardinals will also have to surrender a draft choice, as Contreras declined a qualifying offer from the Cubs at the start of the offseason, tying him to draft compensation. St. Louis neither received revenue sharing payments nor surpassed the luxury tax threshold in 2022. They are therefore subject to standard penalties for signing another team's qualified free agent. The surrender of their second highest pick in 2023 draft and $500K in international signing pool. So this is a huge move by the Cardinals. Molina is done with them. That was one thing they needed to address. And honestly, if you're thinking about Wilson Contreras or Christian Vasquez, you always go with Contreras. He has that power hitting side, and that's just another righty bat for the Cardinals skip to throw out there in the middle of the order with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. But let me know in the comments what you think, as this has been Gillis TV here on the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.